For destructive electronics.
Gas Pioneer Officer Alden. 7:10:74 at approximately 3:23. We're sitting at the Sanborn exit waiting for the turnaround area, and we're observing a UFO off in the southwest direction. The object is at times silhouetted in the sky.
What you just heard is an actual recording of two police officers as they called the Tilton, New Hampshire dispatch on the morning of July 10th, 1974 at 3:23 a.m. It would be the first of many calls by many officers over the course of the next hour as they all became witnesses. This week, we're proud to present to you another Black Cat Report exclusive, the Tilton UFO incident. Lost police recordings of a close encounter. I didn't see you there.
Something big is going on here.
From hunting ghosts to Bigfoot, paranormal, UFOs, true crime, and more.
We won't just be spouting articles.
I was researching for your entertainment.
The beginning of a new world.
The best guac you'll ever fucking eat. True story.
It's basically like one day you walk outside and you see that the ants are playing with matches.
This is the Black Cat Report. See you on the other side.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 75 of the Black Cat Report. My name is Gil, and joining me here this week, as always and forever, the one and only Joey.
All the way from 5 minutes away from your house, Gil. I am here.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited about this, man. Now, I've been hiding this research as I've been restoring the audio for over 2 months now. Like, excited, honestly, it isn't even the right word to try to explain or express like how stoked I am to share this content with everybody. But before we dig in, I need to give some shout outs to folks who helped make this episode happen. Like, this really was a team effort. So first off, Victor Cassiano, thank you so much for helping to decipher the audio, decode the police jargon, and for researching locations.
Hell yeah, Victor. Thank you.
Man. Next up, Laura Cox, my mentor, audio guinea pig, and one of my best friends. Thank you.
You the best, Laura. Thanks.
Next up is Kristen, the incredibly talented host of the Paranorm Girl podcast. Link will be in show notes.
Hell yeah.
And last but not least, Damien, my long-lost cousin, the host of Life Beyond 6 Feet, and the co-founder of RKB Paranormal. Y'all are the fucking best.
Hell yeah, you guys are awesome.
Oh my God, the amount of times I've had to send my work on this audio to them, and I'm just sure that, like, well, I hope they're all taking the day off and letting their eardrums, like, recover from bleeding from how bad this audio has been.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well,
guys.
hearing from the first thing, that it came a long way from your early stuff. So it is, yeah. If anyone knows the sound of like walkie-talkie recordings pretty much over radio airwaves, it's like, it's not good. It's not good. And to get to what, you heard in the intro, it's a long way.
It is. And I'm going to mention this here in a moment too, but I will include a link to the original. If at any point you got any doubts, please go listen to the original. But
yeah.
No,
I mean, it's Tilton, New Jersey, so I'm surprised it hasn't fallen over yet.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
Had to start early.
Well, all right, let's get into the show. Now, what we're about to hear was originally found in a collection called Cops and Saucers, put together by UFO researcher Wendy Connors and archived on the Northern Ontario UFO Research and Study Organization's website, aka Newforce. The original file name was simply titled 33, with a summary text next to it that reads as follows, quote, Tilton, New Hampshire, 08/11/1974. Tilton Police Department dispatch recording during an incident of a domed disc approaching a police car. As the officer signaled the object, it began to signal back. Before the incident was over, 3 separate UFOs were observed. Voices on the tape include officers from Tilton, Belmont, and Guilford, New Hampshire. They are Mark E. Payne, Michael Alden, Mike McCarthy, Norman Stanley, Steve Hodgins, and Scott Wolf. Remainder of the recording is Jay Oswald talking with George Prescott and dispatchers at the Tilton, New Hampshire Police Department. End quote.
You know, honestly, I know you guys have heard us do recording episodes before, and listening to them, you get to hear these random, usually to you probably random, like people talking, cops, especially Trumbull that we did. They're important in a lot of ways. It's because first off, this has happened for a lot lot more than there are reports for. There's a lot more, and we like to give you guys an idea of not just people seeing them, not just normal citizens seeing them, but also police officers that in a lot of ways aren't really looking for this stuff. They're kind of just driving around for the most part, and when they see them, it's recorded, and you can kind of go through these like roller coasters, like in Trumbull, where you go through the roller coaster with the 911 dispatcher going through it and then eventually running off. So like this is super important stuff to like to come upon, like Gil did, and to let you guys hear just how this goes through people's minds, and like I think a couple weeks ago we did one from Arizona with the lady driving, and it's like that's an example of somebody just they didn't have much information, and then you get to the guy in the control tower and it's the opposite. He has almost every piece of information, the guy in the helicopter, like the little details. So we like to give you guys a lot of sides of it, so it kind of makes sense, kind of adds to the UFO, which is not even a question anymore, because the government's come out and been like, hey, these things are real, we don't know what they are. So it's like it adds to this amazing story, as I like to say, of our understanding of it,
our history. I mean, this is just as much of a piece of human history as anything else, right? It's a collective human experience, right? It's a series of encounters. It's a series of events. It affects people. It affects lives. It affects politics, right? It affects everything. It bleeds into and influences things outside of the paranormal circles and things like that. And even if it didn't, it doesn't matter. What we hear over and over again is that these events change people's lives. Like they are significant and they change lives. And so, things like this, like you were just saying, like, delivering the audio from that lady and from that helicopter pilot, or for Trumbull County, it's God, and I'm gonna rant more about this later, but it's that raw audio, man. Like that is the gold standard, in my opinion.
While it's happening,
God, I fucking love it, man. I love it. But yeah, so obviously with a quote like that, right? Like when I saw that police were signaling to the object was signaling back. There were 3 different police departments at least involved in this. Names of all these officers, like what the hell? Obviously when I saw that, and I'm going down this list of all these different audio files, obviously it piqued my interest. But as I quickly came to find out, there is almost no coverage of this event online, at least none that I could find. And like, let me repeat that. There is nothing, right? So all we have is this audio. And further, the original audio was absolutely horrendous, like with large portions of the recording completely unintelligible. Like I had to go through and dig and filter and like keep tweaking this audio to bring voices out of the static. And like every time I did it, I would find more pieces about this case. I would hear more little, whispers and be like, oh, that's what they were saying, or that was the color, or wait, they were doing that, I just had to keep digging and digging into this audio, which, the full audio track's 45 minutes long. It's a long piece of audio.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so with no articles or news sources to go on, I dug in and I started doing my best to restore file 33. And while there's still some rough edges, definitely still some graininess and static, in my opinion, what we're left with now is a diamond in the rough, right? So it is It is a fascinating, sometimes hilarious, firsthand account of multiple close encounters happening live, with potential communication happening between the UFOs and the police. You were hearing it live. The commentary is it's raw. It's sometimes playful, sometimes amazed, and honestly, sometimes pissed. Like you hear the police get pissed.
Yep,
But the
just like this podcast.
Yeah. but the experience that you're about to hear is real. That can't be denied. Now, as I said, without documents of the event, all we have is the audio, and as such, context clues are the best we can do. So, as Joey and I listen to the restored audio and give commentary, keep in mind, we're just as excited to hear what you're thinking at home. I honestly, I want to hear everybody's opinions. Please, like, take notes, shoot us an email, message us on Instagram, let us know what you think, what you heard, what you went back and re-listened to 15, 16 times and like pieced together. This is lost history. But like this lost history is your case just as much as ours. We're dropping an exclusive right now, so your bet's as good as ours. And if you find any news articles or, you live in this area of New Hampshire and you're able to go to your local library, look through microfiche and find newspaper articles from this time, dude, please. That like that would be so awesome. You ain't even got to send it to us. I mean, I would love if you did, but like just to bring this case to light, it would be so cool if folks in that area, or if they're going through that area or whatever, can find any more information about this, because this shit's wild.
Yeah. And if you don't want to, if you're not a note-taking person, or, you don't want to send any questions, just literally as you're listening to it, yell out your question while you're listening to it, wherever you are.
We'll
and
hear
if
you.
Will might hear you, I don't know. Gil will probably hear you. He's
I'll
got
probably
ears of
hear you.
like a, I don't know, a mouse.
Well, yeah.
Do they have good ears?
I think so. Very tiny, very agile. But
of a cat, yes.
I've gotten really good at listening through the static, so there's a good chance if I'm outside at night, smoking a cigarette, I might hear you. But without further ado, let's play the tapes.
Gas Pioneer Officer Alden. 7:10:74 at approximately 3:23. We're sitting at the Sanborn exit waiting for the turnaround area, and we're observing a UFO off in the southwest direction. The object is at times silhouetted in the sky, which is apparently a quarter of a mile away. Go ahead. We both thought we saw an soft outline of some kind. I think it died and raised several times. Helmet is flashing lights at us from flying. He's on his way down there to his new home, so if any way you can draw a picture of it, do that. Please note on any trajectory it goes on. He just went down. Yeah. Just dove off the way. Yeah. What's the angle? If it's going towards you, if you're anywhere near it, if there's any indications as to failures in the radio system, anything like that. Yeah, he just dove in a westerly direction, right back original height. Helmet seems to respond to signal. It's responding to signal as far as that goes. Helmet to get brighter, move around, etc. Helmet, we flash lights at it, and it seems to flash lights at. Yeah, just a little. Jesus Christ! Turn around. I did too, and it went around and sort of wheeled around underneath. We're observing the object moving. Yeah, that thing's swiveling around from time to time. We have blue and red lights on the rear end of it, apparently. Approximately how far away is it? I'd say about 3/4 of a mile. 3/4 of a mile? Yeah, 1/4 of a mile. We'll say half mile or so, half 3/4. The lights are very good. They get pretty bright and dull out. Honestly, we get a good outline, you know.
Found that when we flash lights at it, it responds by changing the light.
When we flick lights on it, what light, it responds, changing colors, etc. Oh, I'm fucking nervous as hell. Feeling signal is on. Look at him. See him changing? Change the blue. See him move down? See him move over? Look at him. See the outline? See him?
I can't quite see. I could see the outline.
See him?
Yeah.
He moves in the light. Look at him now. See, I got red and blue.
Yeah. Look at it go now.
Yeah. Oh, so he's blue water.
Is it?
Yeah, look at him dive.
Is he coming? He is getting closer.
He is.
Yeah.
6 out of 7 bell nap. This thing's getting closer to us.
Now that we flash the...
He's at it. I'm gone.
Do you see any lights over the trees?
So I saw one friggin' beam go down on it.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. We seem to see a beam from time to time coming from it.
Oh, that shit's
I've always wanted to see a UFO.
I saw the fucking outline. I don't know if you did or not, but it looked like it had quite a rack.
So yeah, that's the first part. There's many parts of this, but that's fucking intense to me, man.
Yeah.
like you are hearing from the moment of the initial observation, they are sitting, and thanks again, Victor. Like he found the maps of this exact location based off of little hints later in the audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting at an exit, right? Basically outside of the
salmon
city.
exit. Yep.
Well, it's the let me pull it up here. It was the the San Burton City exit. But he thinks, and he pointed this out, or Victor pointed this out. He said they mentioned that they are at the San Burn exit, right? But it was probably just short for San Burton City, right? San Burn exit. Although, they may have straight up said San Burton and it kind of got lost in the static and the graininess. But he found the exit. He found the exact spot. It's still to this day a very forested area. One of those giant loops when you kind of get off the expressway and you go in that huge ass loop that cuts around. So they're sitting there, probably just straight up looking for people speeding, people drunk driving, whatever. It's what cops are doing at 3:30 in the morning, right? Yep. And they're staring at a UFO. And as the time goes by, they start to notice, they're like, well, hey, this thing seems to be changing colors a little bit. They start flashing their lights at this UFO. It starts changing colors as they're flashing their lights at it, right? But then it goes farther. I don't know if you heard that part where he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. They kind of
panic
for a moment.
It
rushes them.
Yeah,
it rushes.
It
fucking rushes them.
Yeah, it's getting playful.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And towards the end, he's like, I'm fucking scared, man. They're freaking out. They're straight up freaking out, But during this whole process, right, of shining the lights and looking at it and seeing this, they see the outline of it, right? Which tells me, immediately this ain't no star, right? Yeah. This isn't a planet. This isn't a star. Yeah, they're looking at it. It's moving. Stars do flicker based off of the atmosphere and this and that, different light colors, but clouds, this is way, way, way bigger than that. And I'm also going to throw it out there, probably not the first time that these two cops have sat at this exit at 3 a.m. Probably have seen the stars before. And stars don't tend to rush towards people. But with that, another little clue that they threw in there was that they were seeing beams of light coming out of this object onto the trees, into the forest in the area.
It's beaming down something or beaming up something.
Maybe that's where the cows went. Who knows? But
that's true. Yeah, they could have taken some animal.
maybe this was near Betty Andreessen now that I put this together. But anyways,
Oh, poor
oh
Betty.
shit. Aw. It was Quasga on the scene.
Yep.
But but you need new shutters and blinds.
His new news reporter job.
Yeah, but like this shit's fire, man. Like this
Yeah.
shit's fucking fire. And it's gonna keep going, right?
It
So
seems like it was matching because they said it was like red and blue lights. It
yeah.
seems like it's just matching the colors of because that's literally what you see when a police officer shines lights on you. You know, you get the sirens. So it seems like
Damn.
it's like flashing back the same colors because it probably
Oh,
knew. I imagine that they didn't just use their spotlight, which I think they were using
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
they probably flashed the. I mean, obviously, wouldn't they? Like, it's something
The
you would think
berries.
they would do. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
probably flip their
I
lights
didn't
on.
fucking think of that.
And since they said it's flashing red and blue back at us, like they can they said it was
Yeah.
on the dome, and so
Oh,
it's just like it's probably flashing the
shit.
same colors at them. Maybe they're the internet. Maybe they're the UFO police.
Oh shit. Dude, I honestly I've listened to this audio easily over 100 times. The
Mhm.
full audio, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, work on and all that shit. I never fucking considered that. That is brilliant. And by the way, too, like folks, Joey has not heard any of this audio, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
if
right
you
with you guys.
yeah, but like, you know, if you listen to something staticky and you're listening that close and you're messing with all, like, I can't, you know, I can't see the, what is it, the forest for the trees. I can't see the trees for the forest at this point. Like, I feel like I can fluently speak static at this point. You know,
Yeah.
I've heard it so many times and I've listened so closely. So yeah, man, like, damn, that is a really good point. But anyways, this next part that we're coming up on, it's gonna, I believe, like immediately start with the description of the object and its movements. So let's dig into that.
Mhm.
Are you in the football shape thing? What? Just like a second. Okay, I can draw this. Good. Yeah, look. That's what I saw, too. Yeah, look at that. I thought the red was coming from this section, Mark. And there was orange and blues on here. Yeah, then what it was, too right. Now, what it was, Mark, when it... You calling me? No, no. All of them were off on blue and red lights at the rear, green and yellow lights in front. It's moving now. Southwest direction from them, their Pemberton turnaround on 93. Approximately half a mile away from them. Feel it? Video is... South 70, all down, he's on his way down there, and all boys before he can get on their way. Okay. Suppose the bee landed somebody over there and they're coming at. Look at that, take a move. It's pretty close. That's right. It is. Look at it go. Look at him. Yeah. Now he's starting to see he's turning up a little bit. As the light disappears as the bottom of the sphere. All I know, Mark, is 1 minute there when he started to matter, the fucking light seems to be right in the center. We saw the license plate for you. Don't have it inside. I found it. Now it seems to be moving away. It seems to be moving away a little.
Okay, so that clip, that you know, and we're talking like at this point, what, we're 5 minutes in to this audio total, right? Like, again, this is not a planet. This is not a helicopter. This is not a plane. This is not, you know, a star. This is not whatever. Like, they start saying things like, you know, blue and red in the rear, green, and then I couldn't hear what he said, and something.
green
in
and
the
yellow.
front, green and yellow at the
Green
front,
and yellow in the
right?
front. Yeah.
And it's moving. And they specifically said too, the lights at the bottom of the sphere, like
Yeah.
they are viewing a sphere that is
Football
lighting.
shape.
Yeah, a
Is what
football
they said.
shape type of like
Yeah.
oblong sphere thing, but whatever the fuck it is, it's large enough that at the distance of between a quarter of a mile to 3/4 of a mile, they eventually settle on a half a mile, at that
Yeah.
distance of less than a mile, they're able to determine the shape of it, and they're able to see that the lights on the object are lighting up the outline of the craft itself,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So like shit's fucking nuts, dude. Like I don't know.
Yeah. And then as it gets closer to the end, it's just like, yeah, I'm a little disinterested, so it starts moving away from them a little bit.
Yeah. I
it's
thought
just
we
like,
were
eh.
chatting. I thought we were chatting. What are you guys
Yeah.
doing? You guys just left me on red. You left me on red. I'm leaving.
Yeah, it probably is just like, screw this, guys, right now. I'm a little bored.
Screw
I
you
picked up my
guys.
person.
I'm going home.
Yeah, picked up their person from the forest, wherever they were beaming stuff down. Was like, oh, it could be an Uber. UFO Uber. Uber.
Oofer.
Oofer. Yep.
Oofer.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to strike that one from the episode. We don't want anyone taking it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so that piece was nuts. Next one we're getting into, and one of the reasons why I stopped right there as well, is because the next part we're about to hear is the UFO researchers at the station. Right. So this is part of the reason why this audio is such shit, honestly, is because what's happening is this UFO case got reported to UFO researchers. Those UFO researchers went to the police station, and now basically picture like a stereo sitting there playing these recordings from that night. And the UFO researchers have their tape cassette or their deck sitting there with a microphone pointed at the speakers. Right. So this is like second, third, fourth, like recording basically.
Yeah.
So every now and then there will be breaks in the audio where you literally hear them talking in the precinct and like flipping the tapes over.
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, well, let's put up the next one. They're like, what is this? And what is that? So part of the reason why the audio is like, it's like rough to work with, but like that's where this random commentary is going to be coming in. It is from the actual like researchers that are there, Jay Oswald and George Prescott, that are there at the station interviewing the police, right? After that, after you kind of hear a few notes, it's going to go back into the audio from the event that night. So
Okay, I'm still running, and what's your rank, Christian, your official position? Do you have a sergeant or captain, patrolman, or what?
No, I'm administrative supervisor.
Okay.
It's a new rank, just came out. It's not being announced officially. It's just a matter of days now.
Good. I might as well go ahead then. Now he's starting to see it's turning up a little bit. The light disappears at the bottom of the sphere. All I know, Mark, is 1 minute there when he started to at it, the fucking light seems to be right in his face. We saw his license right for you. Don't have it inside. Wrote it. Now it seems to be moving away. It's actually moving away a little. It's moved in a westerly direction. Down the movie flashlights it seems to get closer. Pitch blues. Look at the movie. Westerly direction. See him to move. Right? Yeah. Actually, he's now moving back southerly direction. A lot of that's the light too going around that's holding us back. But that's not what's going on. No, see? Look at him flying. Yeah. Jesus Christ, I just saw blue and yellow. Yeah? Come on. Run. Alright, join us. I have a camera with you, Jim. Negative on that. We just had more signals on it. Don't want to come get a shot, like? Affirmative. LF 204. Do you have the camera with you? 10-5, can get a picture of it. Try and get it with some
Which one is that?
signaling features or something that could place it as far as location
One.
in the picture. And 607 Belknap. 607? Be advised, this thing is signaling us back. I think he's a little ways off, too far off the pictures of the outline, but you can get the lights, etc. in it, I believe.
One, two. One.
He is definitely responding to our signal.
One, two, four.
See him, signal back. Yeah, can't remember what I...
Is this only the same pattern and signal? Red, no. One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems they're trying to do with the lights, because you can hear them going one. They're doing what's it called, binary?
SOS? No. They're doing Morse code.
Oh, Morse code. Well,
Yeah. They're doing Morse code at it, so it's ... dash dot. That's SOS. They start doing.
They're telling. Okay, so they're telling them that they need help. Wait a second. So like they're I guess he probably only knows the police officer might only know SOS and Morse code, because they probably are taught this.
Yeah.
They're telling this UFO that probably understands Morse code or binary or some similar mix of it, that they're just like, hey, we need help. And maybe the lights it's sending back, because it turned from red and blue and green and green and yellow in the back to red and yellow. So it's red and yellow are like caution and stop, which are bad things. So what if it's just like, are you okay? Should we stop? You know?
Yo, homie. Yeah, I mean, for all the UFO knows, it's like, you know, kind of like ships at sea used to have different flags for different messages, and they would have a whole series, like color-coded series of flags that they would hoist up, which meant different things, you know? I don't know, maybe the UFO's going on that, but it's still fascinating. This might sound cheesy. This is the moment of contact. Like this is literally the moment where kind of like everybody might be on the same page, and you hear them. You were literally listening to them in real time, like saying 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Like he's counting out the signals, and that like. So like when you picture a police cruiser or a vehicle, they have the spotlight on the side. Back in 74, you know, it wasn't, you know, it was a manual switch
analog,
on the side. It was analog. So it's literally like, you know, picture the switch in your house, basically, you know, like when you walk into a room and turn on the light, it's like, so every time you're hearing that noise, and I busted my ass to keep that noise in there. Like every time you're hearing that noise, and it's going to come up a lot, it's them literally signaling this UFO. Like they are doing Morse code at this fucking UFO, and it's responding. And damn, dude, this shit's nuts.
Like, I hope that their Morse code is the same as the UFO's Morse code too.
Yeah, it's like hot single moms in your area. They're like, damn.
they're saying SOS. They're saying SOS to us. And like, hot single moms in your area. It's like, have you extended your car warranty?
Have you extended your craft warranty?
Yeah, craft warranty. Oh, damn spammers.
Damn it. No, but there's also a couple other things that I want to point out there. If you recall, they started talking about the directions it was moving. Okay, so picture this. You know, the sun goes from east to west, right? That's what it does in the sky every single night. The stars, the moon, everything follows that same cycle. So if we're trying to, you know, like reduce out all the likelihoods of like, is this a planet that's reflecting light back weird? Is it, you know, what was it from the Australian case? Is it Venus acting like like anything but a planet, as she always does or sometimes does, you know? Is it that?
That
So-
sexy little Venus planet going
Sexy
around.
little Venus, yeah.
Seductress.
I know why you became the feminine symbol, but yeah. So when we're trying to go through the mental checklist of like, are they mistaking something? It happens.
Yeah.
You know, the atmosphere is fucking wild. It's a shit ton of gases. It's reflecting light. There are bajillion different factors that go into
Yeah.
it. Crazy shit happens. It's totally fair. But they start saying, at first they say it's going west. That
Mhm.
would be in perfect alignment with how stars and planets would be moving across the sky at night. Okay, so, but then they say it goes east. Then they say it goes south. And then I believe they say it goes like northeast or northwest or something. It's changing directions
Mhm.
in front of them. And
Yeah.
part of those, those moments when it's changing directions, if you're listening to the audio and kind of like breaking it down as the transcript, it's also around moments where they're freaking out. Like, oh shit. Oh
Mhm.
fuck. They're like, fuck, goddamn. Like they are cussing so much in this,
Yeah.
which is part of the honesty of it. But like, it's like, oh fuck. And then like 2 seconds later, it's now going in a northwest direction. Like they're relaying it because they're
Yeah.
like, they're also realizing this ain't a star. This ain't a planet.
Yeah.
And if it was a plane really far from the distance, it wouldn't be jerking around in these different directions like that. Like this is a UFO,
Yeah.
which they also had to have kind of felt like pretty confident about to make that first call anyways. They were probably already sitting there staring at it.
Yeah.
Like, do we call this in? What do we say? They're
Yeah.
not going to fucking believe us, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna get kicked out. I mean, honestly, this craft is acting like me trying to drive to the other side of Asheville. It's going like north, east, west to get to the west side of Asheville, and you got to drive like a billion different ways. I'm
Yeah.
a terrible direction person, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
cool, I'll go west to get to the East Asheville, even though I live in East Asheville. So like,
But for some fucking reason, it works in Asheville though, where you're like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
get
the way
there.
in West Asheville, and then you just like pop up behind like a dog shelter, a cat shelter, and then it's like you're behind Target in East Asheville all of a sudden, but
makes
you were in
no
North
sense.
Asheville. But
yeah,
yeah,
makes no sense.
it's following a mountain logic. I appreciate
yeah.
that. I actually understand it more. But
yeah, for sure.
all right, so this next clip, one of the highlights that is going to be there is how far off the ground it is, which again, if we're going through and we're checking off our list of things it could be, things it might be, this and that and the other, it's very important to pay attention to things like that. Is there an approximate range of how far off the ground?
Go ahead. 93 northbound is this time from Tilton. Can you advise him which direction he's looking to see it? To the left. I also look to the left, about 200 feet over the tree line. You'll notice a very bright, appear to be a star flashing. If you look very close, you'll see different colored lights with a blue light on top now. 5, I see an outline now. Signaling in SOS with your, you guys, yeah, we got an outline now. It's with SOS, red, yellow, and blue. With SOS. 607 advises 3, 2, and 3. You should not dash. What is it? Do it. Something like a star, but you look closely, you can see a blue light on the top and several colored lights along the north. Lennon, that's awesome. Right? Well, you should have something along that color. Just check the light again, say, no, the dash light. The inside light here. Now check it this time, look. Like he had maybe a lump in the middle. Right? Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Get the blues now. Oh, hold on, we got a car. I don't know about you, Mark, but I'm fucking... I think it's neat. We're saying. You know, if something happened, though, we're going to be called a fucking bunch of mooners. Not if we get the goddamn asshole to come up here and look at him. Let's get him close. Yeah, somebody says it's a fucking star. No, they won't. After they look at it for a while. You get the wrong light. They're going to respond to that, maybe. Hey, turn on. Ask him where his location. Tom is city side of the day. Yeah, what's your location? Coming up on the Tom, okay, we're in the turnaround area. Rush it. We're moving away slightly. You'll see our lights flash. So he's got to go. Give the SOS again. We got real close here one time. Wait, I had this fucking outline twice, though. He's moved all from those trees, though.
I swear to God, if they keep signaling this UFO SOS, like they're just like, keep doing it, keep sending the SOS, keep doing it, keep telling them we're in trouble. UFO's just like, man, fuck these people, I'm out.
But dude, like 200 feet above the tree line.
Yeah, 200 feet. Yeah,
That is so fucking close.
yeah, that close as hell.
That is obviously, again, not a planet. Okay.
Nope.
Not a star. They're looking at this fucking craft, right? And
Mhm.
like more so, we're at the point, right, in this breakdown in this audio where like cops are starting to converge on the area. Other
Yeah.
cops are coming in. They were asking her, like, so wait, where are you at? Where should I be looking? They're like, yo, go left, da da da. We're at the turnaround, this and that and the other. Cops are coming in.
I
Right.
believe their quote was, let's see if we can get these goddamn assholes
Yeah.
up here to look at them.
Yeah, he's like, they're just gonna think it's a fucking star, and he's like, not if we can get these goddamn assholes to come up here and look at it. But he
Believe that
also
was
like
the
kind of
quote.
sounded he kind of sounded defeated. He's like, not if they come up here and look at it. You
Yeah, yeah, it's so
like,
funny. It's like,
but
come on.
like, it's so honest, dude. I
is, yeah.
I love it. I've fallen in love with this audio because it's just like it's so honest. These dudes
Did
are
he-
sitting in the car. They're having to report this. Other cops are coming in. They're getting questions asked. You know, at one point they asked her like, "Hey, do you have a camera?" and this and that and the other. And
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
did ask the camera.
you know, and they're like, "No, you know, we don't. But you'll be able to get a photo over here and da 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 da." And like, you know, but they're also just like, I swear to God, if this thing leaves before anybody gets here, we're in trouble. You know?
Oh, for
Like,
sure. They're in
like,
trouble.
ah, shit. You know?
Yep. It's not like they can pull out their cell phones at this time period and like
Truth.
and
True.
and take a photo like we could, even though the photo that we take would, because it's dark, obviously, the
Yeah.
way they're talking about it. So to explain a little bit too, is it's like it's dark, and the way that they're talking about it is that you can only really see the silhouette of it
Yeah.
with the lights. It's not like you can just see this beautiful craft. They can't see what it's made of. They
Yeah.
can't really see like the side of it. So I think that's something that's like very intentional, or almost even like necessary to know when looking at this, because it could be like when they talk about like, hopefully someone comes up and sees this because you won't believe it. But I
Yeah.
imagine if they took photos of it, it would probably just look like just blurry
shit.
lights in the
Yeah.
sky. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like any phone, just like a picture of Bigfoot, you know, just
Yeah.
like a big blurry blob. And I also want to say one thing too. They asked, I wanted to see if you understood this too, but did he ask
Yeah.
or say that there was a lump in the middle?
Yes. Yeah,
A
yeah,
lump
yeah.
in the middle.
They're trying to explain it, so it's kind of getting that classic, you know, Bob Lazar saucer shape,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of
Yep.
like they see the little lump, you know, around this oblong football shape kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Getting into the next piece of audio here. Gonna be honest, starts off a little bit chaotic, but again, this is we're kind of getting to the point where like cops are converging, and now we're also going to be to the point where multiple cops are seeing multiple objects. So the
Mhm.
radio gets a little bit busy. But
blue light, red light at times, and it is moving, and yellow light.
Jerry, respond to that.
Which way? This light seems to be moving a little farther away, but at times they said it comes back and it's getting a little higher, but I have the answer confirmed. Catch up! 300, 10-3. He's definitely on the way, it's just
Shit! Hey, did you see us flash those lights when you did that? Look at the change. Yeah, move now. Well, it's all we can constantly, huh?
getting lower again.
Yeah, it's responding to our lights.
Oh, hey, go on, get back with these guys. Holy shit, I'm sitting out there, you fucking guys are shit. Yeah, well, you're not kidding.
Yeah, when it got real close, you could see the saucer outline of the goddamn thing. I guess, hey, call Bill Nass and tell him. Look at it, see it change red then?
Yeah. We've got fucking coming. No, we've got fucking outlines and stuff.
We've got Belmont.
Yeah, we gotta see the fucking outlines we have. Look at where the headlights come from. Fucking outlines. Seriously, what's your outline?
Yeah, that's everybody else coming up, and they're getting more people involved in it, and still, doing the same SOS stuff. Now it's responding. It's again responding to their lights. It seems like it's changing the light scheme that it has on itself too, and it's moving now, getting close to where they could see the outline. So it's like
the one cop who's just like, I thought you were messing with us. Yeah, you don't see shit. Da 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 da. He's like, of course you don't fucking see shit. Like, he's just going off on him.
Yeah,
like,
he don't care.
I fucking told you, dude. His name is Marky Payne. He's fucking hilarious. Like, he's the dude that at the beginning was just like, I always wanted to see a UFO.
Oh yeah,
this dude
excited.
is so hype. This dude is so hype right now.
Damn.
His partner half the time is just kind of like, I'm fucking scared, man. I'm scared. I don't fucking know. And Mark's just like, wow, did you see that? Did you see that? Like, he's just
he don't care.
He's so hype. He's like, look at it change colors. Look at it go. Wow. Like,
he's so excited. Yeah, he's so excited to see anything. He's probably because he probably hadn't seen anything before. Like he just said, he hadn't seen anything before. So he's like, I'm so excited, so excited.
Yeah.
He's like that kid at a candy store. He's like going
Seriously.
off. He finally got his sugar rush.
And now, like, other cops are coming in, and he's just like, I fucking told you. I fucking told you. Like, he is so stoked. I love it. I fucking love it. But so now we have multiple cops converging on the scene, right? And yeah, that's where it's about to continue.
Just keep going. And maybe it's getting what we're seeing there.
Yeah.
The lights I can see another car coming. See the red? And see? Red and blue? See it? Look,
William Franklin underneath him. I think it's going Saturday. What do you think, Steve?
No, Sarah's over this way. Sarah's is in back of it now.
Call 4607.
Go ahead.
Exit 22. Which way do we go from here?
The other one's highest. Turn around and come back through. There's a turnaround area just past exit 22. We're at the turnaround area just before exit 22. Get on the northbound. That's fine. Southbound. You'll probably have to pick on the southbound lane, come back through. It'll be the first turnaround after you turn around. Would you? He's now moving southbound that track. That's fine. It's fine. See the light? Look at the light. Look at it. See the light? See the red and green? See the red and green? Yeah, I can see the blue. There's blue, there's everything. Hey, the light's starting down.
You'll keep flashing it. He came real close last time. Hey, I started to see an outline.
We get another outline on this. He's moving back again, flashing all colors. See if you can get an outline on him. Huh? Where's your throat come from? Listen for him. Well, we can use it to walk down there. Yeah, I see him. I see him.
Love it.
They're just like, come on, they're giving directions to other cops. Just like a drive-in UFO theater over here. They're getting like all the cops in the towns, the 3 surrounding towns, to come hang out and watch them crack open a beer, get some popcorn.
Dude, it keeps piling up. And something I realized here, like looking over my nose, something we lost on the last track that I didn't bring up. The one cop who was looking for him the first time, when he was going up there, and they were like, "Oh no, you went past us. You gotta go up here. You gotta turn around, yada yada yada, and like come back this way." He said he saw another object above a tree line.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So now we're starting to pile up with multiple cops. Like multiple cops, multiple objects are coming in.
Yep. Damn. Maybe the objects are coming in doing the same thing that the police are doing. They're just getting their friends over. Do you see this light over here? He's like flashing lights. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, what crimes are being committed right now that all the cops are going to one spot to watch this UFO? Like, to be fair, these cops are sitting over there looking up at the sky at this light, inviting all the other cops over. These UFOs are actually in a plot to rob banks somewhere.
I was going to bring that up. I'm just like, half the time there's like shit coming through in the audio. They're like, "Oh, actually, old couple was just mugged." They're like, "Shut the fuck up. We got a UFO over here."
Yeah, they don't care.
They are in it, bro.
Yeah,
like, and
which is fine. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, no.
That old couple. Who cares?
Would I do the same?
They'll be fine.
I would do the same. I would do exactly the same.
Would you mug the old couple? Is that what you're saying? That's the same thing you were doing?
Yes.
While the cops are preoccupied?
110%. While looking at a UFO.
True. I guess. Well, I mean, the couple would also be looking at the UFO. But
everybody would.
Yeah. But that's the point, is that they wouldn't even know they're getting mugged.
Crime.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So now on this next piece, just to kind of like, bring it up to bat and set it up for everybody, we're gonna get to hear Marky Payne, good old Marky, freaking the fuck out in the background at the beginning of this. I love this guy so much. The like, "I've always wanted to see you." Dude, he is, if you listen in the background as things progress, as more cops pull up and you start hearing cross chatter from different radios picked up on like one radio at a time, but it's also like echoing at other ones, and different cars, basically different squad cars, are pulling up, right? So when one person's talking over the radio, it's being, conversations in the background are being picked up, and like, just listen, because you have to know his tone by now. He's the one that sounds like JFK, right? It's like, "I ba ba ba," like he just has that New Hampshire, that New England kind of like accent, You will hear his highs and lows of him just screaming like a madman with so much excitement in the background, while everybody else is just like, "Wow." And he's like, "I fucking told you what's going on." Like,
he's ready.
so dude, he is lit. Like, I love it. I love it.
Cameras all together, ready. Look how he's getting these flashes of colors. I see him. 361. The barrel is moving closer to the top. So $7. And by what price? $607. Yeah, we just drew it closer again for a second. 204, 214 in here. You'll see the same object. Have you got any pictures yet? We're trying. He's pretty far off right now. That color film was black and white. What color you got? Black and white, but they got color to be able to change it. What a way off now, isn't it? See. Well, hold it. Where's your false line can see? Let me get our balloons too. Maybe we'll bring him in. See him moving over now or not? Oh shit, I saw him. It looked like a couple feet in diameter when we saw him. I mean, he was big as that. Yeah, Steve? It's yours. When you kill him, I'm going to get mine. When I kill him, I want Belmont his theirs. Okay? Go, you first, Steve. Then me and then Steve again. Go, Mom. Now me again. Okay, Steve, now you. I know. The cocksucker come almost down to us, Mike, once. Now you, Steve. Now me. Okay, now I'll try it. Now me. Now you, Steve. LF61, 1097.
That shit's nuts. Like, I don't know if were you able to pick up what was happening there? I don't know if I've just listened to it too many times.
I was trying to listen to what's going on. It kind of broke up, but to be fair, I want to say I don't know how he could tell the UFO was flashing the cars. How does he know what an alien ass looks like, or even their clothes? I think he's assuming a lot. Okay.
Well, yeah. So good. That was good to bring up there. What was happening? This is fucking fascinating, right? So at this point in the audio, it's been going on for so long. You have to keep in mind there was the initial time of them staring at it. What the fuck is that? What the fuck's going on? How do we report it? They had to have had a whole conversation, right? Like leading up to this, until they finally called it in. That's when our audio starts, right? Fast forward through all of the communication, through now multiple police from multiple different jurisdictions showing up on this scene are there. You heard Marky like in the background being like, I fucking told you,
yeah.
Fucking look over there. You fuck up there. Like he was running up to every cop and be like, I fucking told you. Like he was so excited.
Yeah.
So now there's multiple police from multiple jurisdictions all on the scene looking at this UFO. Right. And there's another police officer or multiple police officers in other places that are also seeing a UFO, not in the area that Marky and his partner have told them to come to. Yeah, so there's a different UFO behaving differently with different colors. Right. So now we got multiple, but we also have a bunch of cops converged on this one spot. What Marky was doing at the end there was super important. He said, tell him in Belmont to hit theirs. Now them, now me, now them, now me. They were positioned at different points. They weren't next to each other. He was on the radio, or he had somebody who was on the radio telling them, hey, flick your lights on way the fuck over there in Belmont, right? At the object.
Yeah.
Okay, now stop flicking your lights. Now I'll flick my lights. Okay, now I'll stop. Now you go. Now them. Now me. Now them. Now me. He's getting super fucking excited because it's reacting independently. It's pointing the light specifically at the vehicles positioned in different areas, looking at the same object.
Mm-hmm.
It's specifically signaling the police vehicles that are shining lights at them. Like, that's what we're fucking hearing. It's
cool.
fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, dude. Like, he's like, now them, now me, now them. Like, dude.
Yeah. I mean, how pissed would you be though if you
I
were that
know.
UFO? You're just have you ever been like sitting there and someone shines a light in your face? Like that's literally what's happening.
It's
and
the
it's two
worst.
different spots, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like somebody's behind you, someone's in front of you, someone's pointing a light
Damn
at
it,
you.
I'm trying to sleep. Like,
what if they were just trying to sleep? I don't know.
Trying
Who
to
knows?
sleep. But like, but this is insane. When, dude, all right, we've covered enough stuff with UFOs at this point, and you've heard me ramble enough just hanging out, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've never ever in my life heard of some shit like this going down.
Nope. Not responding to do different things, not being, you know, as responsive, especially. Usually they're just like, oh, quick abduction, let's go quick. Or like, you know, it's not as pronounced of a thing happening as is happening right now.
It's not a long term. This is long term at this point. We're 20 something minutes in. This is long term, consistent communication.
Yeah. And to be fair, we might be an hour into this because they could have been sitting there talking for like 30 minutes before they called it in. You know, they could be just sitting there like,
That's a super good point. Oh, yeah. To like bring that up, like when it's recording dispatch, right? Like it's not recording all of the silence in between people calling in.
Yep.
Right. It's stopping when it's silent and it's starting around the time that calls are starting up. Right.
Yep.
There's time here. Like this is going on and it's still going on. And now you have people all looking at the same object from different positions, different cities.
Yep.
Right. Shining their fucking lights at this thing. And it's responding to them individually.
Definitely reminds me of the Arizona case we did.
A little bit, but dude, but not to this level.
Yeah. Not as responsive. That one was just playing with them. This one seems like it's actually like, oh, I'm a little bit more responsive, you know, I'm not trying to like, you know.
Well, to back up what you're saying on that, like, you know, maybe if we had audio of them live while the fucking UFO was swooping in front of their car, maybe it would have sounded exactly like this. I have a sneaking suspicion it would. Probably, you know, because later, how the fuck are people going to explain this case if they didn't have the audio? Yeah, we were up there and we were shining our lights and it was responding to us and it did it for quite some time. They wouldn't like you wouldn't feel the full experience of moment to moment, you know. But shit's fucking nuts, dude. I love this case. I'm in love with this case. All right, let's hop over to the next one.
I know a cocksucker come almost down to us, Mike, once. Now you see. Now me. Okay, I'll try it. Now me. Now you see. LF61, 1097. Okay, hold on. Now let's try the spots for the flashers. Okay. ATF 946, Belmont County Sheriff's Department clearance 0400 hours. 8, Bruce 93, San Francisco. Don't direct load. 606, 607, 204, 214. Also 606, 607, 204, and 214. 5, 102. Just before you guys got here, he was...
Franklin on the line at this time. Apparently that object is higher than you thought it was. Both the dispatcher and the cruiser officer have cited it. They advise that it looks fairly small and as if it would be closer to the Northfield Tilton line. Yeah, I'm staying here on that, but I'm not going to that way. Stand by. Be advised it's changing colors again. 204 and 214 also see it. The Franklin cruiser advises he can see three. One is in approximately the same position you advised me of. The other would be down towards the end of the band.
All right, so at the end of that, acknowledged, so-and-so can now see three.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if they. I heard three objects, so I was just like, "Dang!" So now there's another one to the two that we already had.
And to kind of break it down to this will be heard at the very end of the audio here. 204, Mike Bacardi. 606, Marky Payne. 607, Michael Alden. 214, Norman Stanley. I believe 8 was Stephen Hodges, and 306 was Scott Wolf. Not all those names, I think, were included in the original description, but again, the original description of the audio was explaining really, really, really hard to understand audio. So in clearing it up, some more names kind of like came out in the situation. But the spot where Marky is, where he's just like screaming and running around, I fucking told you, and he's just like going nuts. You can hear him constantly. At least I hear him constantly in this audio. He's fucking halfway across town. He's coming up on people's radios. He's screaming
everybody can hear
loud.
Him. Yeah.
He's woken up half the cities at the time.
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Well, they're calling out. They, at one point, dispatcher says 606, 607, and associates. That's a little while after he says 606, 607, 204, 214. There's 4 cops here now from multiple different precincts, all watching this shit. And now there's 3 objects appearing from another precinct from over in Guilford. It was Guilford County Sheriff's Department. At one point he comes on. I don't remember the time that he specifically said, but he's like, blah, 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 for something. Guilford County Sheriff's Department on air or whatever. Like now a sheriff's department is present watching this shit.
This UFO is doing the same thing they're doing. It's literally like, come on, look at this, come on, look at these idiots. They're just sitting there flashing their lights at us.
It's literally like a 3-year-old in the UFO like fucking with the lights.
Yeah, fucking with lights.
And then they're just looking outside there. Oh my god, somebody responded.
They're responding again. Yeah, do it again.
Quasgar Jr., stop doing that.
Stop doing that. You're getting more of them.
Yeah. Damn it.
But yeah, so one of the things too is like they
was only days after 4th of July. Maybe they realized that humans love pretty bright lights that are just flashing, and they're like,
they just
wait, I think we've learned how to communicate with them. But sorry, I had to jump in. I had to say this is the active theory right now.
No, it's true because they're changing colors again, which is what they noticed. And then they also, in the beginning of it, one of the guys says, object was higher than we thought it was.
Yes.
So at the beginning, so just like kind of say they were like 200 feet above the tree line was the original guesstimate of where they thought it was. So that means could be double that, I imagine that somebody driving to get to them was under that, under the area. So they probably looked up and were like, that looks and got there, talked to them, was like, that looks a little higher than 200 feet, maybe
Well-
like 400, 500 feet.
Well,
Who
he said
knows?
small dot, right? Like he
Yeah.
said, like afterwards, I don't know if you caught this, but like he said, object is higher than originally reported, originally thought, and then it's small now. But he also said it's above the Northfield supermarket. Right? So that's an oddly specific direction. So I don't think it's that tiny, and it's moving. I mean, this whole time, literally since the start, they've been talking about this shit's moving. It's moving in different directions. It's moving around. And we also have to I guess acknowledge the fact of the chaos, which is now there's 3 objects being reported. So now we have to call into question earlier reports beyond Mikey and Mike McCartney's, like beyond their observation. They were looking at one object, right? So 606, 607, 204, 214. They were looking at one object. Now police are alerted to, hey, there's fucking objects in the sky. Everybody's trying to converge on this area. They're starting to witness more objects in the sky. So as these reports start to diverge, we have to keep in mind, like, they're not talking about different objects. So these are getting mixed up.
Yep.
But I don't know. Yeah, Joey. All right, let's see. Where were we at?
I think that was 8.
Yes, thank you, sir. All right, next one. Oh, hold on. Don't do it. All right. Quick setup here. Quick setup here. We're going to hear another flipping tapes again at the precinct, right? And we're going to hear the researchers talking a little bit before we get into main body and going back to the audio.
No? Yes, they did, no. But I tend to get so extremely critical when I first hear these things. What was missed?
They got a lot of information.
They got a lot. Yeah.
And the more you hear, the more information you get. I see more things as well.
Let's see.
Continue it.
All that 607.
No.
The Franklin cruiser advises he can see 3.
I did.
One is in approximately the same position you advised me of. The other would be down towards Canterbury, and the third would be further south than that, pretty far away.
Well, we thought we had 2 of them coming together when we first spotted them, but we didn't mention anything about it. Possible it was one at all.
10-5, they definitely have 3 sighted, so you're not alone.
Thank God for that. All right. Find them in for coffee. 607 is real 5. Hate to say it can't be the same one, boys. We better move it around down here. If I'm looking at this kind of thing, I'm going to have some police. But we still go up. Yeah, we got another one moving around.
Is that
here,
4 now?
We just wanted another one.
Yeah, because he just said they caught another one.
Yeah, just spotted another one. I love the what did he say? He said we definitely have 3 sighted, so you're not alone. The dude's next response, thank God for that.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah.
2 seconds later, invite him in for coffee.
I was gonna say, did he just ask the aliens to invite him for coffee?
No, he was talking about like everybody see like, you know, at some point there's cops around the city that aren't involved in this. You know, there's not a lot of cops in this area, I'm assuming, but they're also hearing all this shit and they're just like, what the fuck is going on? Some other cop comes in, he's like, invite him in for coffee.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many cops that are like police officers that are now like hearing. Well, first off, they're all hearing this because they like they're sitting on their, you know, their CBs. They have them on going, just being like, what's going on? And then like they're probably following this, probably hearing it a little better than we are because, you know, obviously it's a recording of a recording.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of listening to this and they're just like, what the literal fuck? And a lot of them are probably just like wherever they are sitting, they're just like looking up in the sky trying to like northwest, southeast.
Who wouldn't be getting paranoid at that point?
Yeah, just like,
like
is there
now
more
there's
coming?
4? Like,
is this some type of Independence Day-esque thing?
Is this the
Which
Russians?
I don't think is it.
What is happening?
Is this the Russians? Yeah.
You
The
know?
Soviets, they're coming.
Holy shit. But this shit's cold, dude. I've said it a million times now, but like, goddamn.
Yeah.
How many witnesses do you need? You
All
know,
of them,
like,
apparently.
this is insane. And like, if y'all go back and listen to this audio, which I'm debating in my head, Joey, you're gonna have to tell me this is a bad idea or not. I'm debating in my head putting the full, uncut, unedited, remastered version of the audio, right? At the end of this episode. So if folks want to just jump straight from our commentary into the full audio, they can. Because there is some spots with just straight up static that I have cut out and like things like that. And hearing it all, you know, like continuously does kind of build a narrative. But like, this shit's nuts. I've been obsessed with it. I hope everybody else is getting as obsessed with this shit as I have been, because this is wild.
Hopefully you're getting excited as Marky is. That dude's going off the rails. Either
Really?
he just did a huge bump of coke because he's on a narcotics sting, or he's like just going out of his mind because he's so excited to see this. This is crazy. And to be fair, you should put it up on the YouTube so people can go and listen to it there. I feel like that would be a better idea at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
YouTube would be fair.
Yeah. Hit us up on YouTube, Black Cat Report. Super easy to find. If you're not actually looking for sightings of black cats, we'll pop up.
Yeah. And even if you are, we'll probably still pop up.
Yeah.
Marketing, baby.
We have black cats too. So
yes. Yeah, for sure.
Shout out Salem and Data. Oh. All right. I believe I was on 10. Cool. All right, everybody. It's going to be the main. All right, everybody. We are leading up to the end of the main audio, but fear not, it's not over. There is more afterwards.
Did we have a lot of falling stars out here? We have 2 of them shooting something at us. And they're shooting something at you? No, we've got there appears to be falling stars coming down, but I don't know. We just saw 2 of them within 5 seconds. 10-5?
To be fair, I barely caught anything that he said.
He said, we got something over here. He's like, what is it? He's like, we got shooting stars. He's like, what'd you say? He's like, shooting stars. He's like, they're shooting something at you. He's like, no, shooting stars. We saw 2 of them in 5 seconds. Da-da-da-da-da. Kind of a pause there. And then he's like, well, we won't say anything if you don't. And that's how it ends.
That was, I'm going to make a terrible joke here, but that sounds just like cops there.
Yeah, I know. Ooh. But
are you shooting? Oh, we won't say anything if you don't.
Now, this last part, it's going to be a long piece. So, Joey, just do the universal sign of panic and throw up your hands in the video that nobody else will see besides me. If
I'm already
you,
doing it.
Yeah, oh shit, you have been the whole time. But if you want me to stop, this is like an 11-minute piece. But what we're about to go into is the official end of the actual tapes from that night. Right now, we're transitioning into the ufologists that are at the precinct talking to the chief of police and the dispatcher and other folks there. So it's going to launch into an interview. First 2 or 3 seconds, it's like whoop, 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 it's kind of hard to hear, but that's going to clear up as you listen farther into the audio. In my opinion, this does a lot to summarize and explain what happened that night, and also kind of give you a vibe of what the precinct's liked, right? Because at this point, at least in my mind, this feels like Super Troopers in Roswell. Like, it's a bunch of cops just being like, oh my gosh, like just like running around. It's some crazy shit. They're seeing a UFO, you know. But like, what's the actual vibe of the precinct like? And so now we're about to hear from the chief of police. And we're about to hear from the UFO researchers who start critiquing what they heard in the audio.
That's good. That needs to happen.
That's the end. Well, I think, if you have any comments at all that you put on relative to this, like what those numbers mean and which man is which number, and what additional you know, and when did that one allegedly come up, and how far away was it? In the paper they said that finally one came up and then it flew off.
Well, that's not on the tape, and therefore it didn't, The papers imagined an awful lot.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Poor Alden came in here picking up the papers day after day and scratching it. Where did that come from?
Was there anything like the paper says that at the last one seemed to come up from a land or from a low area, a portal?
No, apparently. You'll talk to Mark tonight.
Good.
All right. He comes on at 8.
Sure.
So you have a bit of time to kill, but
we may go to Laconia. It's still somewhere.
Did anybody talk with state police? State police will not talk. Yeah, well, I was rather confused because there was nothing in the paper, and as I understood, I came in Sunday before I left for vacation.
What was your name again for the
George
Prescott. George Prescott.
Right.
At the RESPOTT.
Right.
And you're on the Tilton force also.
Right.
Good. Okay, you're on vacation.
I came in Sunday morning before I left for vacation, and Mike, Officer Payne, Alden and Payne were on duty. But they were all excited, and they waved me over so I came over to see what was going on. And I listened to portions of the tape, and it seemed to me one of the two said that at the time this was going on, the state police had admitted the two being in their area, over their area. Yeah, and this one that they were talking about.
That was carried on one report Sunday morning on the radio.
Well, apparently since then they shut up completely.
Was anything to that? Do you have any info?
I suggested that it was a joke. Because Coffin said that he heard on his SP monitor that they got 800 feet over the radio shack.
You heard that, though?
No, I'm not sure. This one was dispatch. That's the dispatcher. But there's got to be some foolishness going on next. These guys, a lot of it, they indicated it was conscious of it's two-sided still. At the same time, they were watching one. Then I put together from what Franson said, the two came up, joined this one or came in the area where it was physically.
They have some concept of it. You think it's serious if there might have been blowing something, or no?
No, I don't.
You don't? How about it?
Well, I don't have any idea really. Only what they said, and it seemed to me they were serious.
They were serious?
Yeah, but
nobody might have been like.
It could be. I don't know how they could tell a rate. They rarely, almost never joke on the radio. Yeah. But I think it's an unusual enough. Yeah, some of that is some not out thing to say.
Yeah, police stations that heard some amazing things. I mean, sometimes, Okay. Now, we know approximately where they were in the UFO. So basically, they're dealing with one UFO, and then later on a second one in their area.
That's right. That's what I get from the tape. Yeah, and Franklin said they saw tape plus the one that was over here, which makes three. So,
you gotta watch out for somebody seeing a star at one point or plant as they were moving on. Okay. So we know about where the tapping, where the interchange is and everything. Who's involved, basically. Can you rattle off these guys' names by number just for the tape?
Okay, 607 was Mike Alden. Mark Payne is 606. 204 would be Officer McCarty from Belmont.
How do you spell his last name?
Capital MC, capital C-A-R-T-Y.
Okay.
That's Mike McCarty.
Mike McCarty,
Belmont, right. Then it would be 214 would be Norman Stanley from Belmont.
S-T-A-N-L-E-Y,
I assume. I'm not sure that's spelled. Polish. Yeah.
Polish.
And then it would be 8, which is Steve Hodges from the Belmont County Sheriff's Department.
You know how to spell Steve? E-V-E-N or E-V-E-N?
I believe it's a feed.
E-V-E-N, H-O-D-D-G-E-N?
Yes. Right.
Belmont, Deputy, okay.
Yeah. And then they had 306 in there somewhere, which would be Scott Wolf from Guilford Police Department.
Okay, 306. Getting the cat.
W-O-L-F-F.
Oh, F-F, good.
And we don't know who the Franklin is for. Be easy enough to find out there.
Okay, somebody should catch that, I guess.
Well, you could go down to Franklin Police Station and see what the... wouldn't it be... I have a question. I was out coon hunting in North Conway Sunday night. Would there be any satellites visible at that time?
Could have been. Satellites you just go over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I saw what I thought was a satellite.
They go over.
I've never seen what I guess is a UFO. Yeah, right. It just slow, globe-looking thing, kind of reflective like a star, and it just steadies. It was
going toward the east?
It was going in an easterly direction.
It was going east?
Yeah, it was Maine, and I was in North Conway. It was going probably in a northeasterly direction.
Okay. Good enough on that. Oh, we have a list of objectives, and one of the highest ones was getting that safe on with face sighting and kind of a few expletives in there. Well, but that's life. Okay, now proponents is just, one other point that's very interested is seeing any of their sketches. Do you have any of those around or copies?
They are extremely mediocre. I have to say, because I'm the sketchman in this department, and they are lousy.
Okay.
They have...
Can I see them?
No, because I don't have them, and it's not in Alden's locker.
On my chief's desk it was originally.
I don't know.
Take a look. It was when I saw
if it wasn't the chief's desk, it's in the way faster than
what he had drawn.
Oh, good. Yeah, I would like to see anything. John, can you
roll it out?
Wow, I'm going to turn this tape over now. Okay.
Just a heads up. So I was able to remove
I have paper here.
Like that sound that was at the beginning drove me fucking insane. I'm sure it drove everybody else insane. That was the sound of the tapes rewinding.
Mm-hmm.
It took me forever. I had to listen to it forever. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was like, oh, this is the old reeled reels being like...
Yeah, I had to rewind them. Yep.
Yeah, so that was rewinding. But there were some important things to talk about there. So did he get to the part... might be spoilers on this. State Highway Patrol. Did he bring them up yet?
He said the State Highway Patrol are not talking.
Yes, exactly. They were there that night. They were 100% there, and they were acknowledged earlier in the audio as being there. Also, like Victor, right, listener of the show that helped out with like the research and stuff on this, he pointed out, he's like, "Yo, this is the state highway that runs exactly through where all these sightings were happening." Like he fucking found the spot. State Highway Patrol was also there, and they ain't fucking saying shit.
Yeah, they knew what was going on.
Like tight lips on that. And obviously he ended with basically shit talking everybody else's sketches. He's like, look, I'm the sketch artist on this police force, and
He
these
said
people are
that they're
fucking
mediocre.
lousy.
He said
Yeah.
they're mediocre, which is such a like.
Damn.
That's such a burn because it's like,
That's
okay, they're
so
not even
burn.
bad. They're just like they're mediocre.
Like the farthest
It's
they
so
can go
dismissive.
is.
It's so dismissive, and I love it. That guy was just like, fuck them.
I know, but. So what did you hear coming in hearing this audio for the first time? What questions do you have? What parts were too fucking blurry to understand?
Well, you know, the first part of it, they did talk about giving the names for all the cops that were there and everything, given the numbers and then, you know, corresponding names. Well, really got into it. Yeah. It was asking about satellites and which way they were going to see if they, okay, you know, we all know about Starlink satellites, right? That they all go in like these days. Different time back then.
50 years ago.
Yeah, literally. There is no Starlink. I mean, there were still satellites. There was a lot of satellites up there still.
Well, Sputnik kind of, been up there for a minute. Yeah.
There were satellites.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, you know, there were satellites up there. So in general, they're asking about that, making sure that the satellites, they didn't, you know, that the satellites aren't going in the same way. They're not in the same part of the sky. Them being like, okay, you know, maybe they mistook it. You know, that's what a UFO researcher's job is to what's in the sky that might look like it, you know, kind of debunking, because let's be fair, UFO researchers have to debunk every tiny thing that could possibly be it before they can say, hey, this is before they can make it public, because literally the first tiny thing that could be wrong, UFOs aren't real.
Yeah.
No UFO is real just because this one thing. That's what debunkers look for. And it's the same. It's the same in other, you know, theories, the same in other stuff. Is like every time to the detail, it has to be there, or it's not real, or the science is not real, you know? Like it's that's the kind of thing that they're dealing with. So at this moment, that's what the researchers are doing. They're backing up everything. They're talking about the people in general too, because they're going to interview them most likely and get their story, because that's what a UFO researcher does, not just doing the tapes. So that's what I'm getting from this, is he's getting the backstories behind everybody. He's getting ready to start asking more questions, you know, getting to that point.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. You nailed it. Also, hashtag fuck you, McWest. But yeah, no, you're right.
Is that a debunker?
No, very famous debunker. Okay. If anybody here is on Twitter, and I'm saying my Twitter with a strong T, because I'm not calling it the other name.
Witter?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, fuck McWest. Anyways, yeah, no, you're 100% right. He's coming in. They are coming in. Very strong-minded in the sense of like, okay, cool, we heard this shit. We're not impressed. Talk to us about everything else at night. And you're about to actually hear as we go on, like, he's going to dig into this even more. Right? Spoiler, they don't just like debunk it immediately, or else we wouldn't be doing an episode about it. But he is digging in. Happened. He's doing due diligence. Yeah. Spoiler.
It's
the whole thing's fake.
Yeah.
Like, no. But yeah, we're about to continue with the dig in, right?
I'm not why to see the
two views. One is an edge on, and the other one is from below.
You used to be an artist or something, didn't you?
The only one I recall seeing was the edge on one. The side view of it.
Whatever you can remember, describe it.
Let me clean your rifle. This guy's locked there and made it.
Yeah, do that for it.
I'll find something. I don't like the mean hits.
That's all the block?
Yeah. Record that famous block there.
Oh, bingo. He got it. Way to go. See,
that's all.
Hey. What do you, they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And they've got the hotline number written right on that page.
Okay.
Now, do you have any
They wrote that on later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we see in the middle of the round football thing with a slight dome as if they're looking from the bottom, at the bottom of a flat disc.
Yeah.
And then another one that could be an edge-on disc, double convex lens, and a perfectly big dome with 3 lights on it.
And one is marked with a B, meaning blue.
Okay, that's
This is right in the back. That's a 4th one.
oh, there's a 4th one behind. Okay. Now this is where they're sitting in the direction.
Right.
And there's 3
There's
dots.
3 right there.
4 positions here.
There's 1, 2, 3. And there's a 4th one back there.
Is that when there were 4 of them then?
Yep.
Is that what that means?
That's what that means, because alright, the drawing had the following. Had this on it, and nothing more when I first saw it.
Okay, the 2.
That number was written on later, those were made later, and this sketch was made in front of me. Mark Payne made it at the bottom after.
Showing me the position up.
Explaining to me what
Payne is
the
coming on.
position was.
Who drew the UFOs? It's probably
Mark Payne.
Payne drew them. He's come in. He's got some dotted lines showing where perhaps the dome is obscured. If that's his convention, dotted lines showing. Now, do you have any Xerox facilities here?
Yeah, we'll make you a copy.
Good.
But I'll tell you something
The other guy's kept it.
that bothers me.
What's that?
This was drawn at the time when they were talking about a silhouette. Now, if you draw a silhouette of this right here, alright, if you were to draw a silhouette of that, it would look like this. And if you were to draw a silhouette of this, it would look like that. You would not see this, and you would not see this.
At night.
Especially at night, with backlighting, because a silhouette would only be seen through backlighting.
They could have added that mentally.
Absolutely.
Or they might not have been absolutely literally correct about their term silhouette.
No, I clarified that with them.
Oh, you think
There was a backlit object. There apparently was. Did anybody ever check the ambient level, light level, that night?
It was bright, I can see that.
It's dying.
Okay.
Very clear.
So we are talking about a backlit silhouette.
Possibly.
The following night was very bright.
Right.
Up.
But when I think of somewhere along there, I heard someone talk of, or maybe I read somewhere recent, in this particular episode of them coming within 100 feet of.
That's probably there.
All right. Somewhere in the
within
tape.
100 feet, you get more on the silhouette.
Oh yeah.
This is well lit.
Published in paper 300 feet and that sort of.
Okay. The important thing about distances is there's a little exercise in guessing the distance. And Mike first said quarter mile, and Mark said mile and a half, or a mile, and they finally compromise on a half a mile. Okay, if they're completely unable to guess at a
They don't know how
distance.
big it is. That's out of it. How far away.
Payne gets in, I'll ask him relative to the size of the full moon at its closest approach for angular dimension.
We do have one thing out of the tape, if I may interrupt.
The
The relative scale feet of 2 feet. He says somebody being 2 feet in reference, I think, to the trees, I believe. You mentioned.
Well, I think in reference to some plane.
Yeah, but how far away was it? This is if we can reference to the trees.
You can.
When do we get in here, and I'll get in the old angular dimension business, we'll still in the UFO is between 15 feet and 50 feet in diameter. It's probably about 20 or 20 feet in diameter.
You see, that's another thing in the paper. Someone described it as being 20 to 30 feet in diameter. And coming within 100 feet of the cruiser.
Well, see, there could be
I don't know where they came from, that's what I read.
Well, it didn't come from here.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because I'd like to find out a few things from you too. What should it be roughly?
I would guess that it would be roughly 20 feet in diameter, just roughly. It wouldn't be any less.
That's small.
That's pretty big, 20 feet in diameter. Because it is a large craft. When you marked off a circle that big, it would be as big as your leg.
Where do you draw these conclusions?
Well, other have landed things, so this is just going to help us as an estimate. Now, let me get back to asking you.
Pythagoras would be very happy that they're using his theorem to figure this out.
Watch it. One of my mistakes
So
objectives
I
is
just
to
want
do
to
the
say,
interrogation job on
fucking
Kane.
love how much they nerd out
Yeah.
in that section. Like you can like hear the like pocket protectors falling on the floor. Like
Yeah.
it is a golden, and like I live for that shit. But yeah, you're right, Pythagoras. Be super stoked on this, but like
Yeah.
they're digging in. They're digging
Yeah.
in.
They're trying to figure out how high it was, how big it was comparatively. If they, I mean, and you know, again, they're doing their due diligence because they're going like, well, if you said you could see the silhouette, I don't think you would be able to see this part of it if you were there at this angle, and if they were at that angle. So they were basically like taking two different angles that people were looking at and being like, well, not all of you would be able to see a silhouette if it was not cylindrical. So they would be like, huh, that's very interesting. So it's not like I would say it probably wouldn't be as square.
Well, he's also like bringing it up as a point of like attacking them because he's acknowledging the fact of hey, our memory fills in gaps when we don't remember things. Like when we're trying to remember a whole scene, a whole scenario, a whole situation, a series of events, we fill in the gaps we don't remember naturally. Like it's like a very trippy thought, but it's supposedly the truth, which is we don't actually remember an event. We remember the last time we remembered the event.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like that's how memory works. And so he's like, no. If they actually fucking saw this, this and that and the other, he's like, they're filling it in.
Yep.
You know, they're filling in the memory. And then the sergeant comes in. He's like, well, there's the case of like it being upwards of 100 feet away from him. And they're like, yes, at that point, you would see way more than a silhouette.
Yep.
Right. Which
Yep.
is why he also yells about like, did anybody check the ambient lighting? God damn it, am I working with rookies over here? Oh, check the ambient lighting, you know?
Yeah,
like he's
pissed.
Like, he's like, the next night, it was super bright. Did anyone check it? You know?
Yeah, he's basically being the producer on set, yelling at everybody to get their shit together, honestly.
God damn it. But like, I love it, man.
It's a great case. It's a great
love
case.
this case.
It's cool because there's a lot of different people seeing this, not just one or two. It's police officers seeing this as well, and not really arguing that they saw it. You know, like none of them. Everybody's just like, we see it. We see it.
Yeah.
And you got Marky running around over there being just like, you saw it. You saw it. I saw it. You saw it. Everybody saw it. He's being Oprah throwing out everybody saw it's to everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just everywhere. The only people that are being tight-lipped about this, as they said in the beginning, the state troopers.
State troopers, state highway
Nobody
patrol.
knows why. Nobody knows why.
Yeah. They're like,
well, they got the state in
from here.
Yeah, they technically I mean, to be fair, they probably might not have been supposed to be there. That's probably where they're like, we can't call this in. Yeah, we're just over here cracking a few beers. That is
more
why
than likely.
They were cracking a few beers over there, just like hanging out, and everyone's like, the state troopers were there, and we're like, we weren't there. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we
were running drugs for Reagan at the time.
Yeah, we weren't there. Of course not.
But no, this shit's nuts. I don't care what anyone says. Like, this is a diamond in the rough. I really sincerely hope that like everybody hearing this, everybody that's made it this far through all the static, right, through all the graininess, is like as in love with this episode as I've been with like preparing for it and working on the audio. I know it's hard to get through some of it, but like I said at the beginning, this is a diamond in the rough. This is a case waiting to be cracked. These are photos from the night. Like that's another thing too. Earlier, there were photos taken. Where the fuck are they? I don't know.
Who knows?
They're not matched up with the case online. We've only got one reference for this, and we got the audio, right, of that night from UFO researchers going in within a month, catching all this shit, you know, while the memories were fresh, right? where are the photos? Where's the newspaper articles that they talked about? Police chief came in at one point and he was just like, yeah, I came in and they were all saying this. And I was like, where the hell did they get that from? Which I'm pretty sure it was Marky. Like, just being like, you guys wouldn't believe that. Like, you know, like he didn't
just
stop
telling
being
everybody.
excited after
he's
that
telling
night.
everybody. Yep.
Everybody.
Everybody
But like, where's Marky at these days? Where are all these other cops at these days? There's a damn good chance most of them, if not all of them, are still alive, right?
I'm retired
Like,
right now.
Yeah, they can talk. But I don't know, man. This case might be bigger than it seems. And if anything, it's fucking wild ass case that's just been hidden in UFO history. And feel really lucky. I know you do too, Joey. Like that, like just
Blessed.
fucking be able to bring this to like folks this week. Fuck yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank y'all. And full audio, unedited, even without an intro or an outro or anything, just it'll be straight up there on our YouTube channel. I'm also going to post a link for anybody to go out and to download the original and download the enhanced versions. If you can do a better job of cleaning up this audio, for the love of God, please, like that would be so awesome. Hop in,
send it to us so we can hear some of the stuff we missed. Because, like, to be fair, like there's stuff we missed in there that maybe you might be able to hear. Like, you know, even with Gil's listened to a trillion times, I caught a few things that he might not have heard.
Yeah,
you know, just different listeners have different ears, and maybe you heard something different. So if you do, let us know. We would love to hear it. Yeah. Gil is being Marky on this one. He's been so flipping out trying to tell everybody. He's been telling everybody that's around him. Yeah. So, thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
I've always wanted to see a UFO. I saw the fucking outline. I don't know if you did or not, but what